Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my first YouTube post ever. So, I've been really debating doing this for a very long time. I kind of been holding back. I, first of all, let me just start over. Hey, my name is Thomas Anthony Worthy Jr. Dot, nigga. I say my dot because don't nobody say they dot. I started this channel because I have too much inside my mentality that I need to express. I have gained so much knowledge of self knowledge of myself. I've through self knowledge, revelation, and identity. I've become a different being, and since becoming that being, I yearn for expression. I love to talk. It's kind of like my thing. I've been doing that shit for a long ass time. I'm 29. Um, I'm a Libra. It's my sun sign, moon sign, Aries. Rising sign Scorpio, kind of crazy a little bit, just a little bit. Um, but I just I really need to have a form of expression of something that I can do daily, that I'm able to get my feelings out and express how I feel because I have gained a lot over these past 5 years. 5 years. Like I said, I'm 29 years old, and spirituality. That's generally what I'm always talking about. Not to throw anybody off, but I'm talking about God all day, basically. And not saying like it's not about no, oh, go to church and all that shit. It's not about that. It's just about everything, you know? God is everything. God is mental, spiritual, physical, every single being of creation we know. It is God. So it's never a separation, but at the same time, it's the same thing. But you can't talk about, you know what I'm saying? You can't be too oppressive with too many views. I don't want to ever get none of this misconstrued. Like I want people to believe shit that I got to say. I don't care what anybody believe. Only you and your inner being can tell yourself the truth. Nobody else can tell you nothing true. I mean, nobody else can give you truth. They can give you information. They can give you information that you then process, and you let yourself know, hey, I think this is true. You know what I'm saying? And you play with it how you want to play with it. But this is my version since up to this point, and I feel a very, very strong need to express what I am because niggas figured out a lot of shit, and I figured out my purpose and my passion, and that is to elevate the consciousness of people around me and build better, a better environment for our people and a safe environment for our youth and and learn and teach as much as I can. The best teachers are the best learners. They go hand in hand. You cannot separate the two. Um, First off, let me start off by saying I identify as my inner being God. I am I am the all. I am not the all. I'm the all for me. I'm my own creator. In it, since I chose my reality, I chose my name, I chose my mom, I chose my dad. Same for y'all too. And when I say God, I do not mean the everybody thinking somebody in the sky, but ain't nobody no sky. God is everything. God is up, down, left, right. There is no specific area where it resonates, but God is every single direction. But when I say God, I'm breaking it down metaphorically, and I say G stands for generate. You generate with the thoughts in your from your brain. That's the fire that from your medulla oblongata. Medulla means mouth of God, a word of God, and that's where you generate your thoughts and everything. Everything, the first thing that's from this planet that was created, period, was a thought. Not the planet, the solar system. Everything started from a thought. But that's where you generate. You operate with your soul. That's when you form your ideas. This gives you that energy, that motivation to go attain what you want to attain and express yourself. The manifestation, becoming what you are. That's where you operate, and you destroy with the energy that's in your sacral vertebrae, the same energy that's been used to create all of us. Because generally, some niggas, I don't know, some people test tube babies now, but uh, generally, most of us are, come from a man and a woman. That's how it's supposed to happen. Not try to be whatever, but that's how that happens. But when we use that energy to push, if we use that energy to move it down, you know what I'm saying? That means sexual intercourse. We create a whole life. So that energy just don't sit around. Energy go, it's gonna go. What if it? whatever goes down gonna go up, whatever gonna go left, go right. You know, just the it's a law of balance. It's not That's not a law of balance, but that's just what it is. It's called the law of polarity. Opposites come together to create. So you can't have hot without cold. On a thermostat, where does hot and cold really start? It's all a matter of opinion. So basically, everything is the same. It's just measured on different degrees. Like love and hate is the same thing. It's just love operates up here and hate operates down there. It's just the same graph though. It's on the same line. So um, I forgot exactly my original point was going with that, but um, when you move that energy up, oh yeah, you move that energy up, you destroy anything that's in your way, that's in your path, that's stopping you from being God at its highest rate. And so when I say I'm God, that's what I mean by I'm God, and that's what I say to myself every day to make sure I'm what I am. I had to become what I am to understand what I am, and through my knowledge and through the trauma and through the love and the pain and everything that I've experienced throughout multiple lifetimes, I've through this from this particular one, I have found myself at a very very high rate, and I want to take some time to explain it. So just quick background: I grew up in a very lovely family. I had a real nice big family. My mom is a very beautiful woman. I come from a lot of love. My dad is a very beautiful person. I got cousins, brothers, sisters. Grandpas. Stepdad. I got grandmas. You know what I mean? Very influential people in my life, and I can say that if I didn't come from anything, I came from love. I grew we grew up with friends. We had fun, we did things. I didn't second guess myself about that. I knew that I was capable of loving, and I was capable of receiving it, because my family just was like that. We was like just like that, almost like a movie in a sense, almost like soul food, or like just the cookout type of family. Like we having hella fun. You do what you do, you know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with us, but we good, you know what I'm saying? We just happy ass people, and that's where my roots came from. So growing up, I was always nice ass person. Opinionated at times when I felt when I wanted to talk about what wanted to talk about, but I was always just a cool person. I kind of was I had a couple of confidence issues with certain things, so I would sit back. I didn't really assert myself too much, you know what I'm saying? But I always prided myself on being just a respectable person. My mom and my family taught me how to be nice. For sure, I like being nice. I like making people smile, and being around people just being happy. It's just something about it that makes me want to be happy, and I just get this almost this childlike energy. I just like to do stuff. And that's one thing that I've always been, like I said, good at since I've been a kid. And I got older, and living life, doing my things. Went to college, you know what I'm saying? Got kicked out of college, went to the army, did the military for a while, you know what I'm saying? And I'm about 22, 23, and I'm still trying to figure out my life at this time. During that time, and your adolescence is just, it's so much coming at you, but you trying your best to kind of slow things down, and like, you becoming so much. One minute you doing this, one minute you do that. You know what I'm saying? We all got different time frames. Around that time frame, we was all learning, trying to find out what we was gonna be. And that's just what it was. But I was throughout that, my grandma got sick. My grandma got sick and she passed away. And when that happened, that's when my switch just clicked. Like everything just went the fuck off. There was nothing there anymore. It was everything that I felt was right in a sense. I I fathomed that it could be wrong, and it was a painful situation. But through that, I found strength. I found strength within myself. I had finally reached that bridge to where me missing my grandma so much, I called my business Mama's House Cleaning. It forced me to start a cleaning business, and I only wanted to clean because my grandma used to clean. So this was the first time in my life I could say that I was following my passion to, get where I needed to get or get where I wanted to get. And it was. I was only doing this because my grandma. I had this, I wanted to make 100 grand in 1 year, and I did that. This is when I first set out. This is the first time I had really big goals and ideas, because when she left and she was that influential of a person in me, it shifted what I was. So my cleaning business start taking off, doing hella good. I'm doing cool, you know what I'm saying? I was working at Sprint at this time, you know, I'm starting to use Sprint to network with people, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool, you know, they saying you got this, blah, 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 blah. And now my spirit's starting to bring random customers in, talking about the cleaning business and stuff. I'm like, okay, we in there, we good, we good. So look, I started doing it. I'm going at it heavy. Maybe like 2 months down the road after my business, I was on duty. I guess I was in the military, and I get into a car accident. Long story short, my car flipped over like 6 times on the highway. I was supposed to get back surgery. I'm 20, 22, 23 at this time, and it basically was a wake up call. You know, I had to understand that you ain't always gonna be in control of your body. Like I couldn't lay down without pain. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't do this. I couldn't bend over. I couldn't even operate my own business no more. And it was a hard time during that time. So I'm going through the motions, thinking I'm about to get surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like getting the X-rays, doing my things, and um, I stopped my business. I didn't resign my lease on my apartment. I moved back home with my mom, and I'm preparing for surgery. I'm getting X-rays and all this shit. I'm thinking it's gonna happen, and in the time frame of me leading up to this particular to the surgery, or me getting closer to my dates, I run across this video, and I hear Dick Gregory say that we can heal ourselves. I'm like, okay, what you mean? Like, okay, because niggas, I'm in a whole different predicament. I don't really want to get surgery because I don't really trust doctors like that. And I don't, I'm 22, 23. I'm thinking like, damn, if I have kids, am I going to be able to, do stuff or whatever? So when he said you can heal yourself, he caught my attention. And so I'm listening now and I'm like, okay, uh, how? And he proceeded to speak about, being a positive person and just being happy and spreading love and positivity. And that was to cure the sickness. And the opposite of that was being a mean, negative person, and that's how you become sick. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And and I was always good at that. Like everybody, generally, I mean, it's not saying you gotta. Everybody got. I don't like the word humble too much. If you're good at something, you're good at something. Not so, and it ain't nothing to be bragging about. Like nigga, I'm the nicest person ever. Like it ain't nothing like that. It's just more so. I just knew that I could identify with that, and I had confidence that I could be that because I already was that. That was my natural state. And so I'm like, oh, I could do that. And he talked about your diet and stuff. Well, like I say, about 29, about 4.5 years ago, probably. Um, that's when I stopped eating meat. So I stopped eating meat, and I dedicated at least a year and a half, almost 2 years straight to working out. And I changed my diet. I started to take care of my body, and I through that, not knowing, my whole everything changed. My reality changed. I started to process different higher amounts of information. I started to see more. Like I became more in touch with my body. I felt more powerful because I fixed my motherfucking self. I didn't have to get surgery. And the doctors were telling me, the pain, everything was going on. It was like, damn, we can heal ourselves. And Dick Gregory, if you listen to Dick Gregory, he talked about a lot of different spiritual things. And he spoke to us being God, a lot of different things. And during that time frame, I didn't know too much of what was going on. I was just kind of following my inner self. When I say my inner self, I meant that inner consciousness, like that inner consciousness, that voice in your head. If you say "I love my name" out loud right now, everybody gonna hear it. But then when you say it without using your voice, you the only person that hear it. And that is that inner God, that inner consciousness, that one that's always been there for you. It's never been there for nobody else. It's always been here for you. It's been here be here before your mom, your dad, your last lifetime. It's gonna be here when you leave this particular time. That's your God. That's what connects you to God. Like I said, we're not the creator to all every single. We can create everything, but we have our role within the created or the creator, and we can replicate that at certain rates. Um, so what that did was when he told me that, I'm like, okay, cool, what I'm saying. I was intrigued by it, so I kind of started to look up certain things and just go and be in my zone about stuff. And I had went to this store. It's called Afro World, and it's the same. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I ain't really speak to that. I'm from my mama. I'm not from St. Louis. I'm from my mama. My mama was born. My mama was in St. Louis when I was born. So yeah, and niggas is kind of a miracle, baby. I was born to be a miracle, bro. Like I was born in '91. I was 4 months premature, had a hole in my heart, nigga. I was 2 pounds. Like, I did that. You know what I'm saying? I came out, ooh. um, I was born to be a miracle in a sense, and it played out nice because my last name worthy. Just things I've accomplished and done to this point. Like, niggas have been pretty cold. I am that nigga, though, just a little bit. I don't like saying it that much, but I am. All right, so Dick Gregory said this, right? So I'm at this store called Afro World, and I'm having fun. This is the first time I ever been to the store. I ain't raised in this neighborhood for a long time, a large part of my childhood, and I had never, ever went to this goddamn place. I finally went. I was intrigued by it. I started to be intrigued by what we were. When I actually healed myself, I did research and found out, it was more. Not saying it's an Egyptian. I don't like saying Egyptian word. You got Kemetic, you got Moors, you got a lot of words that signify black races that were prehistoric or ancient. But Egyptian is kind of a one that most people know about. So I'm in the store, right, and this lady, she approached me. She tell me about myself a little bit, just saying how I was a good person, and you know what I mean. She felt my energy was I had a good energy about myself, right? That's kind of been happening to me my whole life since I was a kid. People would tell me, something special about him, or you different, or this and that, and I would feel it, but I didn't understand at that time, so it was nothing new a little bit. But she wrote my name down, and this lady told me about my whole life. She taught me about she said things about my personality that a lot of people didn't even acknowledge anymore. The things that I kind of even suppressed myself. And I'm like, how'd you do this? And she said, it came from your name. She wrote my name down on a piece of paper and basically told me about my life. I didn't know how prominent that my name would be, and I didn't know that at that time that we choose our name and the consciousness that comes with our name. We choose certain powers when we choose our name. Our name equates to a number, and whatever number that breaks down to, that's what you came back here already good at. You came back here with this particular power, and I can teach you how to do that later on. But she was the first person that exposed that to me. So I'm like, how you know this? And I'm intrigued by her. I'm talking to her, or whatever. And then she sees that I'm, you know, digesting her information the right way. And so she tells me about these videos, and she told me about the knowledge of the forever time. And this is in the beginning of my spiritual waking up thing. Like I said, the first thing was me. The first thing was my grandma passing, like I say, and the second thing was me fixing my body. When I did that, over time, I'm like, damn, like I can do some stuff or whatever, right? So she showed me these videos, and the knowledge of forever time is basically a very deep analytical viewpoint of pyramids, star constellations, and a lot of different things that society probably try to hide with certain words. But the information is pretty common. It's all out there. It all connects once you understand certain levels of information. But it was a very, 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 very technical breakdown of this, right? Me not understanding my power at the time, I didn't know my mind was so strong. Once I once I hear a certain amount of information, I'll take it and I'll put it in different give it different scenarios. Like, well, if this is this has to be this. And this information that I was learning, it was sparking memories from when I was a kid, or things that happened in high school, or just when I was younger. And it was kind of just putting things in certain perspectives, a thing I never thought about. But when I did do it, it would just make sense. And this it'd be an off topic memory or correlation that I have, but it would be something that I remember from a long time ago that only I remember, and I never knew why, XYZ, blah 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 blah. And I kept looking at these videos. It was about seven of them. And it's like an hour long for each series, but mm, taking in that amount of information at that in that short amount of time, it's not. It wasn't easy. I was single. I had no kids. Living my life with just me in a sense. So um, once I did that, and I started to understand certain things within my reality, literally, my reality got flipped upside down. Everything that I got taught was right in this sense, or the way of life that I shaped myself off of, the person that I thought I was not even real. Like this it was a game. It was fake, and it wasn't even that it was real. It was I was I was living another man's life in a sense, another person's dream, somebody else's thought process, and I wasn't even aware of it. I was aware, but I was asleep. It's kind of like the Matrix. I remember, yeah, well, it's a different age frame, but mostly I remember that Matrix. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And when you get taken out of it, that shit is really real, bro. It's not it's a mental thing. You know, a lot of people don't think that a lot of people don't understand the power of imagination. Imagery is the first language. That's why Egyptians or ancient civilizations use hieroglyphs and pictures to depict what they saw. Image is the first language of God. When you dream, you see shit. That's it. When you dream, you go to different areas in your brain and your RPM or something. The frequency changes, and when you dream and you visualize that stuff, that's the images of God. Most people ain't really talking in your dream. They is probably talking, but not that much. It's really based on what you see. So like I said, I started relaying images back and forth and saying this and that. I took in all this information and I started to basically apply this information to my life and things that I was learning. I added it to my palate, so to speak. Like when you cooking or whatever, I added these spices, and everything started to open up. Like I said, I didn't know the benefits of having an alkaline diet as opposed to an acidic diet. I didn't know that's what I was doing. I didn't know that I was preparing my mind and my body to be open to a higher level of thought process. I didn't know. But at the same time, shit was happening. I was seeing shit, dreaming about shit, seeing snakes and shit. Every time I started thinking about something, it started to happen, and it was getting scary. Like you know how people are like, "Oh, I was just thinking about you," or "Oh, I was just gonna call you," like what I mean? That was happening, but at a different rate. What happened was, if y'all remember the movie Limitless, that dude was taking that pill, right? That shit was tight. So I saw that movie hella ago. I'm thinking like, whatever. I just kind of forgot about it. They made a Netflix show during that time frame where I'm doing my business and I'm kind of going through my going through my emotions, learning about myself, and you know what I'm saying, doing what I got to do. And on the show, on the Netflix show, all this dude did was constantly repeat like different ways of trying to figure out things. Like if something fell in the sense he'd try to catch it with his foot, not his hand. He didn't do that. I'm just giving an example. Like most people don't try to that you think in a certain box. If mentally you remove that box and you think in a different way, you'll get to the same solution, but you'll look at different perspectives of how to get to it. And I noticed that off that show. And I fucking was like, oh, I can just do that. So I tried to start figuring stuff out randomly, just thinking about it a lot. And that shit started happening. Like every time I thought about something, it would happen, or it just my thoughts were becoming more prominent. And my spirit was showing myself like, hey, the more you do this, the more this work. Like you can't like when Dick Gregory did tell me I can heal myself, and he ain't say you can't think it. He said you had to know it. And that's what I did. Now I don't want to speak about Dick Gregory that many times, like because he taught me some stuff, but I learned from everybody now. But one of my biggest influences, C. Freeman L. You got Bobby Hemmett. You got Dr. Francis Sealand. I can't say her name. Okay, Wesley. That's what it is, something like that. You got it's a lot of different teachers that Sister Myra Ross that taught me different things, and like I say, this is just what my spirit was attracting me to, and I was able to learn how to break it down. Um, so what I started doing was after my business and stuff, at the I healed myself, and because I had stopped my business in that time frame, because I was spending all that time, like I say, 2 3 years almost working out and just building myself in that, and I was adding more things to my path, like I say, to the things that I was learning. I started to find my path in a sense, and I found myself through identity, and I was able to build a better direction for myself. In the sense, that I got baptized twice when I was a kid, and I'm thinking like, shit, I'm gonna have some superpowers or some shit, but that shit ain't happen. But when this happened and I came out of it, I had superpowers in this sense. Like It be learning. We do got powers. Like we able to control them. The more we submit to our inner selves. So what you think about this is called the law of correspondence. And so below, so above, left and right. Everything that's out, without is within. Um, and they can't exist without. They can't exist without each other. And so identifying with these laws, I started to apply that to my mentality every single day. How you doing? Oh, I'm perfect. Oh, I'm perfect. I'm perfect. I'm perfect. My mind started to produce perfection around me, and without knowing it, I gained control of my whole reality. Everything that I thought about eventually sort of happened. It don't happen. It don't happen like that because you know what I'm saying. We're not in touch with that level of vibration no more. But we can get back to it just by being happy and treating yourself right. So, um, I got so much to talk about during this time frame. I'm gonna eventually start breaking down like the Bible and actually what these words mean and what certain a lot of truths that people don't really know about. And I have a one of my talents, one of my powers is I can convey a message well. I have the consciousness to grab people. I can make people want to listen sometimes. And if you're interested in this type of information, this would be very helpful for you. If you're searching for certain levels of truth, like I said, my truth is just my truth. This ain't nobody else's truth but mine. I can't be for nobody else, just like you can't be for nobody else. You're going to be for yourself. And if you're not, then you submit your power to another being, and you wasn't created for that. You wasn't created to give yourself away to somebody else. You was created for yourself. And so this is my pilot. Um, I want to be real consistent with what I'm doing. I want to post every day, in a sense, because I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm self-employed still. I still kind of move around. I figured out how to manipulate money in my brain, so money kind of just pop up. Uh, when you follow your passion, finances just follow you. When your attention and your heart is pure, and you are, in a sense, moving in your light, and you moving where you need to be for you, God gonna provide. You know what I'm saying? I say God still. I know I say the generator, operator, destroyer, but most people not gonna understand when I say the creator, the all every time. So I'm gonna say the all is generally what I like to call it, but um, I'm gonna say God. I'm gonna say God too because we identify as we can call it God. God, um, one of the biggest things I can say is don't be afraid of yourself or what you're capable of, and the people you can influence. You never know what how far your purpose goes. You there is a bigger it's a bigger picture. It's something out there deeper that you yearn for. Everybody yearns for it, and no amount of money, no amount of materialism, materialistic satisfaction is ever going to be able to fill this void. And that void is for your inner self to achieve your purpose. We all come back here to do it, and if you don't do it, you gonna come back here again, and you're gonna keep coming back until you figure it out. And because that's our purpose, like we all got called to this planet in a sense, and we chose to take on that battle or that calling. And so we can't run from what we chose. And it's time for us as melanated beings. I'm talking about black people right now. We just need to. It's time for us to take responsibility for what we are. And we are the creators of this world. That's what we were chosen for. God put us on this planet. Everybody else came from us. We have the dominant gene. We are the people of God, in a sense. And it's we the Israelites, and the Israelites is not a place. Israelite is a breakdown of as a principle of gods. Isis was the first black woman. That's why the first book of the Bible is called Genesis. Genes of Isis. She is the God that gave birth to it. She gave the immaculate birth to a man. To a womb. Womb man is the first man. No, Ra is the sun god. That's what it represents the sun, and it's in I can't really break it down. That I can break it down, but just it's an Egyptian male god that represents um light and power and the just the son of God. And El is is short for Elohim. Elohim is another word for God, and that word came from the Pythagorean theorem: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's a star constellation, and it was called Enlil, Ea, in I can't think of the word right now, but I knew Enlil and Ea. That's what it is. Au became Almighty God. Ei became Elohim, and Anu became um one became I don't know, but that's where it comes from. It comes from that. It comes from that principle, and that it lies was inside of us. I lost my train of thought again. That should be happening, but you gotta be happy and make yourselves happy. But we're gonna pick this back up tomorrow. Tomorrow I just started on the first episode of Fred. It was just a little pilot. I can see your boy and see how I'm living.